Hey everybody, thanks for clicking the thumbnail and hope you enjoy the video. And in this video, I'm going to talk about the news that was released yesterday. I guess I should say reported on yesterday by Pierre Lebrun of The Athletic, Elliot Friedman of Sportsnet, and a few others, I believe. And that is that it looks like we're going to have hockey in early in the new year, in mid-January. Should be. They're looking at January 13th. That's details that are behind me. I'm going to get into that. And before we do, if you're new to the channel or you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe, ring that notifications bell, and that's going to get you your daily fix of Blue, Blanc, Rouge right here at Talking Habs. So if you're a Habs fan and are always looking for Habs content, well, you found it right here. So subscribe and you'll get that every time I release a video. So let's get into these details that have been reported by Pierre Lebrun and Elliot Friedman. Those are two reporters that when they say something, more than likely it's going to happen. And they're not making things up. They're very trustworthy. So this is what all the reporting has been done. Nothing is official yet. It has not been officially announced by the league or the NHLPA. And the reason for that is that it has to be ratified. And so we'll get into all that. So the financial situation, that's deferred money and escrow, that absolutely had to be solved if games are to be played, has been dealt with. So that's out of the way. So the can has been kicked down the road, and it'll be dealt with next season in the coming season. So according to NHL Deputy Commissioner Bill Daly, in quotes, "We are moving forward with the process of working through all of the issues that need to be addressed and agreed to and are obviously unique to playing a season during a pandemic." So the NHL and the NHLPA both confirmed the financial terms from the memorandum of understanding from the new CBA extension will stand as is. That's it. And I believe that's 10% of deferred salary by the players. Deferred salary means they will get that back eventually in a year or 2 years, maybe 3, but they will get that back. And there's a cap on the money held in escrow. Now, escrow money, they might not get back, and actually probably more than likely won't get back. So that's the difference, and that's why the players balked at additional escrow money that the NHL wanted, because you never know if you get that back. Deferred money, you do get that back. And one of the reasons why they said it's dealt with and they're not really dealing with it is the NHLPA asked for interest on that deferred money, and I think that's when the owners balked. So anyways, they've got the money problem out of the way for this season, and they can move on to different things. There are loads of details in those different things and logistics to work out in the next couple of weeks. And one of those details is getting this agreement ratified by both the NHL's Board of Governors and the NHLPA's Executive Board. So that's expected to be done by between December 11th and 13th. So that's this Friday to Sunday. So we'll see if that actually happens. I do believe it will, even though, did I write it here somewhere? No, I wrote it to write about Jeremy Jacobs. Oh, we'll one more item down. Divisional realignment for one season will also have to be 2/3 approved by the, well, I'm going to re-say this. It'll also have to have 2/3 approval by the NHL's Board of Governors. And there's a Board of Governors meeting scheduled for today. I'm filming this Wednesday, December 9th. It's scheduled at 4 p.m. Eastern time. Gary Bettman has been quoted as saying that they don't expect any announcements to come from that. So don't expect an announcement today, but this meeting will ratify that, yes, we agree with this agreement, and they'll go forward and they'll make some kind of an announcement on the weekend, I guess. Now, to counter that, they need 2/3 approval, and I think as far as ratifying the agreement in total, they also need 2/3 approval, but I'm not 100% sure on that. But for realignment, they do. Now, what's going to throw a cog in that is Boston Bruins, is he the chairman? Part owner, I don't know exactly who he is in there, president and whatever, Jeremy Jacobs, who's always a thorn in the ass of any kind of agreement financially between the players and the NHL. And he does not like this. He's appalled is what I heard, by this agreement and the amount of money that they're going to lose, and the fact that the players will not give them any more money and deferred and asking for the interest. He's appalled by all that, and he wants them to get more and blah, blah, blah. So we don't know how many owners are with him on that. So it's 31 teams. They basically need 21 owners to be okay with the agreement for it to pass. I kind of think it will. I heard a rumor that he has 8 other owners on his side. I don't know. We'll see. We're going to find out shortly, I guess. And so that's one of the things that could give a problem here. But I personally think that the owners are smart enough to know that they need to play this season, even if they're losing money. They need to play this season for other reasons than money. And I don't think I think collectively anyway, they're not dumb enough to say, no, we're not going to play. I don't see that happening. Details other than realignment are coronavirus protocols, schedule. I know I put that somewhere. Hubs and bubbles, and there's a question mark next to that because we can deal with it a little later. Like I said, schedules and individual arenas, and that I guess goes together with the hubs and bubbles a little bit later. Expanded rosters are also something to work out. The word is that the rosters will go from 23 to 26. So, I mean, in a pandemic, you're going to need extra players. There's no doubt about that. Guys are going to get hurt in a very condensed season. There's going to, injuries going to be increased, and the chance that somebody gets the virus and has to sit for 14 days. This is a problem. So they're going to have expanded rosters. Now, there's an issue that they haven't talked about with expanded rosters. I don't know if I mentioned it there, but the issue is this. And where did I write it? If the rosters are expanded, how does that affect the salary cap? So you got a team like, we'll use Montreal because I know they have $383,000 in cap space. But that's for 21 players. If they're going to expand the roster to 25, where do they pay players from that $383,000? So are teams that don't have cap space not allowed to expand, and only teams that have cap space to do it can expand the rosters? Or are they going to forgive the salary cap, raise the salary cap, overlook the fact that you're over, allow the 10% off season? I guess that's probably what they're going to do. They're allowed to go over by 10% in the off season. Maybe they'll just allow that for the season. You can go 10% over the cap to bring in those 26 players. That might be how they do it. So anyways, that needs to be decided, I think. And it hasn't really been talked about. I saw it on someone's video, and I talked about it with my friend Jeff. And so we'll see. I'm sure they're talking about that. So we'll see what happens about that. So assuming the pandemic doesn't get in the way, that the owners do ratify, that everything is going to be set to go, the NHL is targeting January 13th as the start date. So January 13th, my cousin's birthday. Happy birthday, Tammy. I'm sure I'll remember because it's January 13th. So January 13th start date. A 56-game schedule, so it's going to be a very tight, condensed season. Thank God we got Jake Allen, maybe the best backup in the NHL, and that's going to make a difference this season, guys. They're looking at a 10-day training camp. Very bare bones, 10-day training camp, and that should start on either January 1st or January 2nd. No exhibition games, so 0, that's it, no exhibition games. The 7 non-RTP teams that had asked for 7 to 10 days of extra training camp because they have been off the ice since March 12th, and it's definitely understandable. So if it was sort of agreed upon. I think it was a kind of we're going to allow it if we can. But now it looks like they'll get only a few days, maybe. And that's a maybe. But it looks like they're going to get a few days. I kind of was just reading something just as I was going to film and put a note here. Elliot Friedman updates and says December 28th for the camps for the 7 teams. So that gives them about, 3 or 4 days extra, maybe 5. So I don't know if that's official yet, but There you go. It's still unclear if, no, wait a second, I forgot one. In case there are games that need to be made up, so in case there's games that need to be canceled, because like in the NFL, I don't know if the MLB did it, but the NFL had games where they had to cancel them because players had COVID, too many players and on both teams even, and they had to cancel games. They made them up later on. So they're going to need to have some kind of time frame for that. So that's why they condensed season to allow that. So we'll see how that works out. It's still unclear about players being able to opt out. So they did allow it in the RTP last season. Players were allowed to opt out. This is not playoffs and like a short thing. This is the next season. It's not sure if they're going to allow it. I personally think they will allow it. I just don't know how that's going to be termed or whatever, but it's still to be decided about opt-outs. And the dates for the trade deadline, playoffs, I wrote entry draft, but forgot expansion draft, entry draft, UFA day, that's unrestricted free agent day, and they're all dates that are still to be worked out. So these are things that have to be worked out in the next couple of weeks, because if they're going to start training camps, say by December 28th for the 7 non-RTP teams, they got to get things done soon. So yeah, there's a lot of details to work out. There's just a lot, but I think the main thing is it looks like we're going to have hockey in mid-January. Now, coronavirus is spiking everywhere. Yeah, that's true. That could get in the way. If things get worse and local health officials, various places, decide that, can't do it, it could throw a wrench in. Oh, also, I almost forgot. Will teams start in their home arenas? This is important. And I forgot because I have it on a different page and I got it turned the wrong way when it should be that way. Okay. Elliot Friedman reports. So this is something else I just found out. A short-term hub plan is probably being worked on, but that isn't the preference for them. So they're looking to play in their home arenas. Excuse me for that. I couldn't stop that. And to me, that's a surprise. I'm kind of surprised. I thought they would start off short-term in hubs. I'm sure they're going to work out the plan for that in case they need to, because like I just said, the pandemic news, whatever, how it's going, could really affect any start time, and maybe they're going to need to start in the hubs to get it going and then move to their individual arenas, which is what I thought they were going to do. That to me, that just makes the most sense, but it doesn't seem to be the preferences of the owners. So we're looking at possibly teams starting out playing in their own arenas. And I personally, I suppose in the hopes that fans will be allowed to attend at some point. That's why they want to do that. But if that's the case, they can go from the hubs back to the arenas. I just don't get that. To me, it doesn't make sense. You think you want the least amount of travel. Unless you're taking a bus, like if Montreal's going out to Vancouver, are they taking a bus there? If they take a bus there, sure, it's safer because they're in, their own space. But if they're flying, it makes a difference. So I don't know what they're going to do there. I'm surprised to hear that that's the preference and not a preference to start in hubs and then move that way. So we'll see how that works out. And let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. And if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. And like I said earlier, if you are new to the channel or haven't subscribed yet, and you want to see more Habs videos like this, now this happens to be NHL, but in general, I am a Habs channel. I do Habs, and if you're interested in that, please subscribe, ring the notifications bell, and I keep saying that, and that gets you your daily fix of Bleu Noir Rouge right here at Talkin' Habs. Thanks for watching, everybody. Do appreciate it. Hopefully we'll have hockey soon. We're looking at training camps opening in 2 weeks, a little over 2 weeks if that's the case. So things are going to happen fast. I'll try to bring you all the news I can on it. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there, especially in this pandemic getting worse. And peace out, y'all. I'll see you next video. Bye, everybody.